Hi, everybody. Welcome to Demo, the show where companies come in and they show us their latest products and platforms. Today, I'm joined by Roy Gonczarski. He is the CEO of Alithyon. Welcome to the show, Roy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about the company and then what you're going to show us today.
Alithyon is a no-touch serialization technology company. We're based in Seattle, Washington. Basically, what we do is we fingerprint things. If you think of the idea of fingerprinting people, it's because you don't want to rely on a badge, a driver's license, a passport that could all be faked, lost, give it to someone else. Same thing with products. With products, we all come to believe stickers, barcode stickers, hologram stickers, and then we just assume the product is what it should be, real, legal, correct. We have developed a way to actually just take pictures of items and serialize them, thus being able to trace them, counterfeit or catch anti-counterfeit, and catch gray market, let alone telling people that the product is the right product.
Yeah, so anti-counterfeiting is a huge business, but counterfeiting is actually probably even larger, right? So how big of a problem is this?
Counterfeiting, the last number that was published by the International Chamber of Commerce is a little over $3 trillion a year, which is crazy. And we're not just talking about Louis Vuitton bags and Rolex watches that you buy, on Canal Street in New York, right? Mm-hmm. That's the first thing people think about with counterfeits. We're talking about brake pads on a car, engine parts for a jet engine aircraft that carries people, computer boards that go into weapon systems with the DoD, pharmaceuticals. We're talking about bad people doing bad things.
Yeah. And wasn't this, a lot of this was with barcodes and RFID and technologies like that? What is the problem with those that you're now addressing?
Just like a driver's license and a passport. One, you can lose it, so a barcode or a QR code or even an etched serial number can be damaged and then you're blind. It could be removed, you're blind. It could be moved to another product. So the barcode sticker might be the real barcode sticker or the QR code, but the product isn't. And worst of all, the Chinese and others have figured out a way to just copy your barcode sticker and QR code. Even the uncopyable are copyable.
Okay, and so you've come up with a product called FeaturePrint, correct?
FeaturePrint, yeah.
Yep. And so it's an app, so it's on a phone, so we're a little bit different here. We've got you on a Zoom call here.
Yep.
So let's jump right into the demo and show us the really cool stuff here.
Sure. So first of all, just to clarify, it's not necessarily an app. The app is one way to access it through the phone. Right. Our manufacturing customers do it with an industrial camera sitting on a production line automatically, but it's the same technology accessed through AWS.
Oh, even better.
So basically, what I have here, and I'll show it to you here, I brought these computer chips. They're micro USBs. I like them because they're super cheap. Yep. I can travel with them everywhere. They're identical. They're basically all the same. They're built in bulk. And I have registered already, for sake of time, these 4. And in fact, I've written on the back their number. So 1 to 4, this is number 2.
Okay.
These I haven't touched. So I'm going to show you how I register a product. So why don't you choose one of these 5, anyone that you want.
All right. And you didn't put them in any sort of
No,
order, right?
Just go ahead and choose one.
Okay. All right.
And if you give it to me, I'm going to now feature print it. So on my phone, I'm in feature print mode. I'm going to basically take a picture of it, and I'm going to call this number 5. And let's say we're going to say for testing only.
Okay.
Do not install. So now I'm trying to help avoid human error from a technician using an item that was supposed to be only for testing and not for installation. So I'm going to write on this number 5. So now we have basically items 1 through 5 registered here.
Okay.
Now I could be anywhere in the value chain now. I could be at the end of manufacturing and I want to know which ones I'm supposed to ship to what customer. Maybe I'm in receiving. I may be in a military base if I'm in DoD and I'm getting these items. I want to make sure I'm getting the right ones. Maybe I'm in a distribution center. I want to make sure I'm going to the right place. Maybe I'm the tech and I want to install this on an aircraft or a car and I want to make sure I'm installing the right thing. Maybe I'm in return and I want to make sure there's no returns fraud. It really doesn't matter where in the value chain. It's always the same set of questions. Is this what I think it is? Is it real, legal, correct? And what's the history, the provenance? If I can answer those questions, I don't need any barcodes or QR codes. I don't need anything. All I need is my phone.
And aren't these exactly alike? I mean,
they're all identical.
They're all identical, but they're not identical.
But they're not really identical.
Yeah, explain that a little bit.
Manufacturing, after the Industrial Revolution, when machines were created to help us with productivity, we also learned that machines cannot do the same thing over and over again. After this first computer chip was made, the blade is a little bit duller. The atmosphere changed a little bit in pressure and temperature, things that make the machine a little bit different.
Right.
We can't notice it as people. Most machines can't notice it. But it creates a difference, which is why manufacturing engineers or design engineers will give it tolerances. So they might say, this board has to be 1 millimeter thick, plus minus 0.02 of a millimeter. Mm-hmm. Why? As long as you're within that, you hear a lot about Six Sigma in manufacturing. As long as you're within that Six Sigma range, they all look the same, they behave the same, they're good quality, they go out.
Right.
Our technology, FeaturePrint, can look inside that band and see all of those nuances, features of manufacturing that while we can't see, our algorithms can see.
Right.
And they are so random and chaotic by nature that the probability of having two boards coming off the same line, having the same set of, call them manufacturing aspects, is 1 to 4.5 trillion, which makes these as unique as fingerprints. The beauty of it is, though, we can use standard cameras, even a phone. We don't need spectral imaging or infrared. We don't need to know what the product is. I can just start taking pictures and serialize things.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of what we do.
Okay, you're going to show me again. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
We've registered these 5, right? So numbers 1 through 5, all listed on the back.
Okay.
I'd like you to just blend them up a bit so no one thinks there's anything planned here.
Yeah.
And just give me one.
Okay. I think I'm just going to see what.
Yeah, don't tell me what it is.
I won't tell you.
So I'm going to move my phone here to identify mode because that's what I'm going to do. And by the way, this is just a regular iPhone 14. I have a piece of plastic that just helps me take pictures really quickly. So nothing special about the phone. I'm going to take a picture here, and as the system, if we know what it is, immediately tells me it's identified. It's number 5, the one that we said was for testing only. Now let's see.
Yep.
In fact, it is number 5. And so we identified it correctly. So not just a board, but it's that board.
Yep.
You can also see here on the bottom, my provenance. When was it first feature printed? By who? What date? What time? I can even see where by opening up my map and drilling down to the building we're in.
Oh, wow.
So I know no one's tricking me. And I see I have one identification record because we only did this once. Now let's make sure we weren't lucky. Give me one more.
Okay. It's like pick a card, any
Yeah,
card.
exactly.
Okay.
If this doesn't work out, I can always go to Vegas, right? So I'll take another picture of this, more or less in the same area. System tells me that's identified. This should be number 1.
Yep. Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's number 1. So identified again correctly as number 1. The one that I said earlier was for aircraft autopilot system. Now imagine I'm at a car company getting this board. I know either someone made a mistake or someone's trying to trick me. Or if I got this as a part for the landing gear system, again, someone's either made a mistake or trying to trick me, but the red flag immediately goes up to say, although this is an authentic part, number 1, it's the wrong one to install. So you can see how I can avoid human error and what's called gray market, real items being sold illegally. Maybe someone says it's refurbished, it's brand new, but it's actually refurbished. I can catch that.
Okay.
So again, now that I've identified number 1, I can add data in real time. I can say installed on, since this is an aircraft part, on aircraft, let's say 2.
Okay.
So now I have this piece of data there. I can even take a picture and make it look like the installation. So let's say I take this picture, and now I'm going to add that in. Now this digital fingerprint of board number 1 will always have that data that this was installed on number 2. Now let's do 2 more things here. Pick one that we haven't registered.
Okay, so now, what scenario would this be? Like, so these are...
This would be a fake,
This
right?
would be like a fake,
So this would be-
or I'm a really bad security guy. Like, I'm a real bad guy, and I was like, I've got malware on this that I want to install in your system. So
Imagine worst case, you work at the manufacturer of these, and you come at night and make extra boards. So these aren't even fake; they're actual, authentic boards.
Yeah.
We call them midnight runs. We see it a lot in consumer goods, computer boards. You come at night, run the machinery because you have excess material. This isn't a fake; it's real, but it's not registered. So I shouldn't be able to identify it. So I'll ask the system if I know what it is, and it tells me it's not identified. Even though these are identical, it's not one of ours.
Right.
Now, maybe this was done the day before you started using our technology. So I can say, you know what? I'm authenticating it. I'm going to say this is real. I'm going to call this number 6. So this is now an approved item. So if I go back and I check it now under identify, it should come back as identified as number 6, which it is, right? So if I now take another one of these and pretend as if it's my fake board, and I ask the system to identify it, sorry, I don't know what it is. If it's not in the system, the immediate red flag to say this is not one of yours. So no counterfeiting. I can identify them uniquely, including the data that I put in, so I can avoid gray market and avoid human error. Now, a question that always comes up is, Roy, this is great, these are all brand new, but in the real world, things get damaged, right? Things happen. Let's test it out.
Oh,
so
you're going to damage something now, right?
give me another one of these 3 that we haven't tried yet.
Do I tell you the number?
No, don't tell me the number.
Okay.
So I'm going to check what this is. I'm going to come here, take a picture, and it tells me it's identified. This should be number 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's number 2.
I'm trusting you.
Don't trust me, just trust the technology.
Okay.
So number 2, the one that we said, for example, here for DoD server farm number 354. Now, these I registered earlier in my hotel room. So if I actually look on this, I am able to then download all to my hotel building as opposed to the one I registered here. So again, and you can see all the times we've identified it. So full traceability every time someone sees it. So now I'm going to put in data, and I'm going to put damage testing. I'm just adding this data to say this is what's happened to this item. Now I'm going to take a Sharpie here, and I'm going to draw all over this thing. And you can see I'm doing this, right? No pre-canned demo.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also going to take my tactical pen here, and I'm going to crush this part and just scratch. Because things happen in the real world, right? Now, I'm assuming that at this point, no one will use this board, but still, it might happen. This is a board, by the way, just to do a comparison, this is what the new board looked like right before the damage. So, truly damaging. Now, let's see if I can still identify it. This is identified. It's number 2, the one that's for the DoD server, right? Still number 2, no sleight of hand. Now, look at the images on the app. It's showing you on the right-hand side, the one with the little cloud. This is the original image I took when I registered it. Left hand is what I just took now. You can see it marked up, damaged. I mean, this is really it. And I'm still identifying it irrefutably as number 2. Imagine what that means for real-world applications. If I were to take this Sharpie and mask a hologram sticker, a QR code, a barcode, you'd be blind.
Okay.
If I took this pen and I scratched off even one number off a serial number that's etched, I'd be blind. And yet we're able to do this. This is the power of what digital fingerprinting or feature printing allows.
The wide variety of different products that you could put on this, I mean, is it unlimited?
It's not unlimited.
Okay.
There are 4 things we don't do.
Okay.
1 is gas, 2 is powder, 3 is liquid. Okay. Why? Naturally, if I'm based on imaging, I can't really take a good picture of these 3 items. Okay. I just shake it up and it moves. So we don't do those. We can do their containers, their bottles, but not the actual gas, powder, or liquid.
Right.
4th thing we don't do are diamonds and gemstones.
Okay.
My wife loves diamonds and gemstones because they sparkle. And they sparkle because they're cut to refract light really well. In fact, with one of our luxury goods customers, we did a trial. I got to play with $50,000 diamond stones. It was pretty amazing. I didn't get to take any, but at least play with them. And we took sequential pictures of the same stone not moving at all, and they all came out different because a speck of dust was in the air and it changed the light. Yeah. So you can do it with spectral imaging or other types of professional cameras, but our whole goal as a company was make it accessible, right? Cell phone. And so we just say, we don't do diamonds and gemstones.
Right.
Other than that, our customers will do paper-based, plastic, 3D printed, metal, gold. We do gold bullion for national banks, etc. So we can do anything but those 4 things.
Yeah, so we were thinking like sneakers. There's a whole bunch of other things.
Sneakers, collectible cards, art, luxury watches and jewelry. We do pharma, so things that go in and on the body. We do brake pads for a car. We do engine parts for an aircraft. We do DoD stuff, so Department of Defense. We do precious metals that I mentioned. The amazing thing is when people think about fakes, they think about, again, the Louis Vuitton bag or the Rolex watch, which is terrible to fake, right? Yeah. Money loss, brand trust loss. But bad people do bad things when they fake medicine, car brakes, parts to a plane, when you know the risk is people's lives, and still people do it. It's crazy.
Amazing demo. I'll tell you, this is great. Where can people go for more information? Because I'm sure there's a ton of other details. One other quick question. So it has nothing to do with the camera resolution or anything like that. It's all just
mobile phone,
photo algorithms, secret sauce.
Our algorithms which are fully protected. So we have 57 issued patents now, which is pretty cool around the technology. So if anyone tells you they can do what we do and it's not us, that itself is probably a fake, which is ironic. But go to Alithyon.com.
Okay.
Go there. You'll see a bunch of information, different use cases, how we do it, et cetera. And you can do it there. All made in our Seattle, Washington offices. We don't use anyone else's IP. All developed in-house by a bunch of amazing people.
This is great stuff. Again, Roy, thanks again for being on the show. Thanks for the demo. That's going to do it for this week's show. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, add any thoughts you have below. Join us every week for new episodes of Demo. I'm Keith Shaw. Thanks for watching.